Hello, and welcome to the Yoga Studies Institute. My name is Bob Serino, and I'm so grateful that you chose to practice with us today. Here at YSI, we do yoga different. A lot of people just think about yoga as the outer practice of how we put our body in space. But at the Yoga Studies Institute, we focus on combining the inner world with the outer world, which is what yoga was originally intended to be. It's yoga that changes your world, not just your body. We source our information from the most classic and authentic texts in yoga, and we offer that to you through daily meditations, through daily asana practices, and through a rich assortment of courses on our platform. So if you want to dig in and truly experience yoga and feel happier and healthier and full of purpose, then you've come to the right place. Develop a daily practice with us and see the change for yourself.
Welcome to the Yoga Studies Institute. My name is Lydia, and today we're going to do a 30-minute Dharma yoga practice. To get started, let's look at chapter 1, verse 43 from the Yoga Sutra by Master Patanjali, where he says, Smriti, Parishuddhau, Svarupa, Sunyeva, Artha, Matra, Nirbhasa, Nirvitarka. And in English, this means stay in that one pure thought and never forget it. The single most important thing. Things are empty of being what they are by themselves. This is the clear light beyond all conceptual thought. Now, today we're going to focus on that keyword empty. So when Master Patanjali says that things are empty of being what they are by themselves, emptiness isn't an empty room or all blackness where nothing else exists. And it also doesn't mean that our good deeds or our bad deeds aren't important and we can just kind of do whatever we want. What it means is what we thought was there isn't there. We see as we continue with our practice that things are empty of a self nature. So let's take that to the test and let's see. Let's be scientists and challenge ourselves throughout our class. Observing ourselves as the test subject, let's see. What are our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, and how are we labeling ourselves? How are we labeling this class? And let's see if those are absolutely true, where they come from, or if they are empty of a self nature. So let's close our eyes, bring our hands to the center of our chest. And as we are scientists observing ourselves, let's dedicate this effort to our highest yogic goals. Imagining a world where we do see the lack of self nature in ourselves and others. How would you act differently? What would your thoughts and actions and words be like if we had the highest understanding of where things are coming from? We'll begin with an Om. Exhale completely. Inhale. Om. Coming to our mat. Bringing our feet together, hands together at heart center, legs engaged, tucking the tailbone in, collarbones expanded. We bring our arms up and back, hands down to the mat, Uttanasana, stepping our right leg back, right knee down, looking up. Hands on the mat, left leg steps back, nice strong plank. We'll do knees, chest, chin down to the mat, coming through Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Tucking our toes, pushing back, downward facing dog. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. Stepping our right foot forward in between our hands. Left knee drops down, looking up. Left leg comes to the top to meet the right. Uttanasana. Hands together. Arms are up and back. Hands together to heart center. One more time. Arms up and back. Hands down to the mat. Uttanasana. Left leg steps back. Left knee drops down. Looking up. Palms on the mat. Right leg steps back. Knees, chest, chin down to the mat. Coming through Bhujangasana. Shoulders down and back. Tucking our toes, pushing back. Downward facing dog. If you want to continue to bend your knees, you may do so. Engaging the arms, pushing the mat away from the body. Left leg steps forward. In between the hands, right knee drops down, looking up. Right leg comes to the top of the mat. Uttanasana. Palms together. Hands reaching up and back. Palms together to heart center. Moving on. Arms up and back. Hands down to the mat. Uttanasana. Let's bend our knees as much as we need to, placing our fingers underneath our heels, keeping our chest and thighs together, having our face close to our knees or our shins, pulling up with our fingers towards the heels. If it's available to you, then begin to extend your legs, straightening them, relaxing the upper back. Releasing this pose, hands down to the mat. Right foot steps back, right knee drops down, looking up. Lots of options. You can stay here or interlacing our fingers, pushing that front left thigh away from the body, engaging the right leg and the right buttocks. You can stay here, or if you'd like to put your hands on your waist, allowing the hips to drop down, maybe taking Kali Mudra, interlacing the hands. Arms are straight, reaching up and back. Releasing this pose, hands down to the mat. Left leg steps back, nice strong plank. You can do knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga, coming through to cobra or up dog. Tucking the toes, pushing back to downward facing dog. Taking some time here to maybe bounce up and down a little bit. The sit bones are up. The legs are engaged. And imagine the crown of your head is able to touch the mat. Take a big step forward with your left foot in between the hands, coming up to warrior one. As we begin to embrace our spiritual warrior, observe what are your thoughts and your feelings about yourself now as you strive to achieve your highest yogic goals. Opening up to a warrior two, adjusting your back leg if you need to. Allowing the hips to sink down. The back right leg nice and strong. Lowering our left arm down to the top of our thigh. Right arm extends, nice easy side angle. Opening that right shoulder back. Releasing our hands down to the mat. Bringing our right knee forward, creating a nice little 90-degree angle box. Bringing our left hand to the small of our back, right hand to the outside of our left thigh. We just begin to twist gently, looking back. Releasing our head back to center. We'll take our right arm nice and tall, crossing it over on the outside of our left thigh, making a fist with our left hand, pushing down. We look up. If this is easy for you, go ahead and put more weight into that front left leg. Bring that right leg off the mat. Trying to get that left shoulder back a little further. Releasing our hands down to the mat. We'll do Bachistasana. So you can put your left knee on the mat, right foot extended, right arm comes up. If this is easy for you, you can go ahead and extend that left leg, right foot stacks on top. If you want to lift that right knee or the right leg, you may do so with the yogi grip. Whatever works for you today. Releasing, right hand back to the mat. So now we have our right knee on the mat, left arm extends up. Or if you took another variation on the other side, you may do so here. Maybe extending the right leg, stacking both legs, one on top of the other. Or lifting the knee or the toes. And releasing gently back down to the mat. We can do knees, chest, chin. Coming through to cobra. Tucking our toes back. Downward facing dog. Taking a big step forward with your right foot. In between the hands, we come up to warrior one. Recalling to mind the intention we set at the beginning of class. To see, challenge ourselves. What are our thoughts, emotions? What are the labels that we're putting on ourselves? Opening up to a warrior two. Remembering that we're not judging ourselves. We're just allowing things to come up, observe, and fall away. Lowering our right hand down to the top of our thigh, thumb and index finger in Jnana Mudra. Left arm extends, easy side angle. Lowering our hands down to the mat, bringing that left knee forward. We create that 90-degree angle box. With our left hand on the outside of our right thigh, right hand behind us at the small of our back, we twist gently, looking over the right shoulder. Bringing our head back to center, left arm nice and tall, crossing over the outside of our right thigh, right hand making a fist as we twist. If it's available to you, put more weight into that front right leg, extending the back leg. Releasing this pose, hands down to the mat. We'll do Bachasana again. So taking that right leg back, we'll lower our left knee down to the mat, left hand in the center of the mat, opening our right arm. If you took variations on the other round, go ahead and just jump right into them. Either stacking the feet, lifting your knee or your leg to take the yogi grip. Always arching the pelvis up and away. Releasing this pose, coming back. Other side, so right hand in the center of the mat if you did the right knee, or if you stacked the legs, opening up. Releasing the right arm down to the mat. From here, you can take knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Coming through cobra or up dog. Tucking the toes. Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Pulling the belly button back towards the spine. Engaging the quadriceps. Take a big step forward with your right foot in between the hands. Left knee drops down. Lots of choices. Interlacing our hands. Pushing that front right thigh away from the body. Engage the left leg, the left buttocks. If you'd like to bring your hands to your waist, you may. Or interlacing our hands in Kali Mudra, arms straight up and down. Then we begin to bring them up and back. Releasing this pose, bringing our hands to the mat. Left leg steps forward to meet the right. Uttanasana, bringing our fingers underneath our heels. We begin to pull up, keeping our chest and thighs together. Our face is by our knees and our shins. And then if it's available to you, begin to straighten your legs, raising the seat bones towards the ceiling. Releasing this pose, arms come up and back, hands together to heart center. Very good. Lying down on our mat, on our backs. Let's take a moment and on the inhale, breathe in the very best of the best. And on the exhale, release all impurities. Putting our palms face down on the mat, we'll bring our legs up and back to Halasana. You can bend your knees as much as you need to, interlacing the hands. You can rock back and forth on the tippy top of your shoulders. If it's available to you, begin to extend your legs, keeping your eyes closed. Bring your attention to the space between the eyebrows and imagine a rose or a lotus. Bringing our hands to our middle or upper back. We raise one leg at a time, reaching towards the ceiling. Salamba Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. Closing the eyes. Continue to keep your attention in the space between the eyebrows, imagining a rose or a lotus. Lowering our knees towards our forehead, allowing our knees to again be close to our ears. Extending your legs if that's available to you. Releasing the hands, placing the palms on the mat. We lower vertebrae by vertebrae, allowing our hips to come down to the mat. Legs come down to the mat. Nice and easy, we roll to our right hand side and we push up to come to seated. We'll do Paschimottanasana. Arms nice and tall, elongating our back. We lean forward. You can keep your elbows underneath your knees as you get your chest and thighs together, your face next to your knees and your shins. And then if it's available to you, you may want to start to extend your legs, maybe grabbing your ankles or your heels, bringing our attention to the base of the spine, our first energy center. Just observe. Releasing this pose. Inhale, come up. We'll bring our right leg around to the side. Left leg, we're going to make a 90-degree angle. Our sole of our left leg parallel with the mat. Coming up, you can use your hands as a support as we lower down into pigeon. First, let's be a nice, tall, proud pigeon. Our left hand on our left knee, right hand on the sole of our foot. Just looking up. If this is easy, you can interlace your hands behind you in Kali Mudra. Opening the chest, looking up. Puffing out your chest like a pigeon. Releasing, bringing our hands forward. We can lower our forearms, maybe walking the hands forward, always working according to your condition, maybe resting the forehead on the ground. You can cup your hands as you walk them forward. And let's just really observe any feelings and emotions that are coming up without judgment. How are we labeling things? How are we labeling ourselves? Releasing this pose, we begin to walk our hands back, coming back to center, gently rolling to the other side. Now we will keep our right leg in a 90-degree angle, keeping the sole of our foot parallel to the mat, coming up on our hands. First, we can rock a little bit, looking forward, and then lowering down, putting our left hand on our left foot, right hand on our right knee, just opening our chest, looking up. If you'd like to interlace your hands behind you in Kali Mudra, really expanding the collarbones, opening the chest. Releasing our hands forward, putting our forearms down on the mat. You can stay here, or if it's available to you and you want to keep going, lowering your chest, lowering your forehead, walking your hands forward. You can cup your hands. And we just observe. Walking our hands back, we begin to release this pose. Gently bringing our left leg forward. Keeping our legs straight, we will cross our right hand on the outside of our left thigh, left hand behind us as we begin to twist, looking over our left shoulder. Releasing our head back to center. Other side, left hand on the outside of the right thigh, right hand behind us, and we twist. Returning the head to center. Release. We lie down, taking Shavasana. Eyes closed. Palms face up. Relaxation is the best antidote for all impurities. Bring your attention to your heart center. And recall to mind the intention we set at the beginning of the practice. We want to discover if things, if ourselves lack a self nature. Are they empty? And what does that mean? as we allow the layers of our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions to fall away, we can connect with our most inner selves and notice, observe here. What is your voice of deepest wisdom telling you? Is the message different than you were thinking of before class or during class? And let's conclude by imagining a world where we've reached our highest yogic goals. We see clearly that things and people are empty of a self nature, and we act and think and speak in accordance to our highest selves with love and compassion. And notice how this ripples out into your family, your community, and the world. Gently begin to move your fingers and your toes. Roll to your right hand side and take a moment here, keeping your eyes closed. Come up to a seated position. Bring your hands together at heart center. We'll conclude with an Om and 3 Shantis. Exhale completely. Inhale. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take care. I hope to see you soon. Namaste.